nice to be back. I'm paying pilgrimage to Monki Gras every year. So we are reinventing healthcare at Andiamo. The biggest complaint that we have from families that come and see us are that about healthcare is that people, they're not listened to. When they go and complain about whatever health issue they have with their child, they feel like they're not being heard. And nobody takes responsibility of their total experience of their care. What we try and do at Andiamo is, these people have basically lost hope that they're going to have a normal family life because all they do is just fight with the system just to have a normal family life. What we want to do is flip the legacy and the traditional model from focusing on outputs and making it about outcomes for the families through the experience that they go. So building a pathway from them, from the time that they're being diagnosed to the time that they get their results. So we're going to be reinventing healthcare. Imagine that you're running a car garage and it broke down, and a car broke down and somebody rang you. Where do you feel that the experience of that person started? Most people would say from the time that they rang your garage and said, hello, my car broke down. I believe their experience started from that moment that their car broke down. It's when it hit them that experience starts. And then you've got the process of them, okay, now I'm going to call the car garage. Now imagine you're a healthcare organization, you're a clinic, you're a hospital, and you've got an influx of families coming to you. Where do their experience start? I've already given you the answer. It started at the moment they know or they knew that there's something wrong with them or their child, and they need to contact someone, a health professional, to get them the care that they need. There is an anxiety curve that the families go through when they have a diagnosis. And we try at Andiamo to build a better outcome for them by treating them as people, treating them as an expert in their own condition and the condition of their child, working with them in partnership. The approach that we take is all about empathy. You start with an empathetic approach, understanding them, listening to them, and then you deliver health with them, not to them. That's how you start reducing the level of anxiety. In any healthcare organization, of course, you will need amazing clinicians to deliver the services. I'm really sorry about the, I couldn't find any better ones at Google, so just bear with me with these pictures. I'm blaming Google. For most clinicians, you have to have, to deliver a good service, you need the best clinicians to have an A-class service in health. That is a given. But they need to buy into your vision as an organization to deliver that service. And they need to buy in with empathy to deliver that vision. An example that I really like to share with you is Doc Dietz basically redesigned, and he's a product designer, and he redesigned the MRI scans. Normally they look like massive staplers, but what he did there kind of looks like, more like a coffin. But to him, it was like, oh my God, I've got this new idea. It's beautiful design. It doesn't look like a stapler anymore, and it's wonderful, and I'm gonna, launch it. And he did it for GE. So first day, it's in the hospital, and he's witnessing these families who are coming through to use the MRI scanner, and he's so happy, Bunny, I've got this amazing thing, and they're gonna use it. And what he sees is a broken down family walking through these dark corridors as if they're sending their child to death, and this child is crying, there's anxiety, they're not happy. And that's when it really clicked to him. And it's like, okay, it wasn't about the product, it's them getting to use the product. It was the whole thing. What can he do to change that? And so he went back to basics and went back to the drawing board, employed the best designers that he could find in kindergarten and nurseries to basically talk about, like little kids, to talk about what is their greatest adventures, how do they explain it, what do they think and feel about their greatest adventures. And that's how he came up with the MR Adventure series. And what it resulted in him having a room, not just changing the room that you have the scanner, you can't even tell that that's an MRI scanner. He changed the themes in the room, but what he also had was the buy-in from the clinicians, and the experience started at home. So these kids, once they knew that they're going to have an MRI scan done, they would be sent home with a backpack, catalogs that tells them which type of adventure they would like to go through, if it's a pirate, if it's a submarine, if it's camping, and depending on which room that they're going to go through, they would have a backpack with costumes. So when they walked down the corridors and they went into whatever room they were in, it matched, so they felt like they are part of an experience and it was fun and it was not scary. Just by doing that, it resulted in the reduction of amount of sedation that they had to do to kids by 80%. So it shows you that when you take consideration of the experience of the people and you build it within your organization and how you deliver that care, it's not just about the product, it's the whole experience. At Andiamo, we already knew that. I mean, we went through this as parents of a disabled child. So for us, this is not a new concept. It's not a new idea. It's just about implementing it. Unfortunately, we don't have the money to make beautiful rooms. We don't have beautiful clinics, but what we have is the buy-in from the families, the buy-in from the clinicians who work with us. And what that results in is we have families, first of all, we have a team of people who absolutely deeply believe in what we do. And they work with us in delivering it, from the developers that work with us, from the research and delivery, and our clinicians. It's not about the product that we produce at the end, it's about the journey that the families go through and then getting the product that they needed. We've got Sahara. She was one of our very first families that went through the Andiamo service. And in that particular appointment, she just could not stop giggling. I have no idea what was funny, but we just could not stop her from laughing. And it was like, well, child is happy. We're doing something right here. We have the buy-in from the clinicians. This is Doug, and he's one of the clinicians that we work with in Norway. And we have emails and letters from all over the world asking us to work with them, clinicians and families. And majority of families write to us and they end the emails by, "Can you save my family?" It's not just about, again, the product. It's about understanding the pain that they go through and how you're going to implement service that would help them get to the end point. Like I said, the Norwegians were one of the first people who absolutely believed in what we're doing, and they put hand in hand, and we started working with them, and we started seeing some of their kids. We empower families and give them the confidence to be completely honest with us. They give us feedback about our service, our products that we give them, mainly, of course, the orthosis. And because we give them the confidence and we say to them, look, you are the expert in your child, you know what your child needs, we are the expert in how to get to the point where your child gets what they need. So working together as a partnership, we will get them, and that makes them happy just to talk to us. Next time, can we make the orthosis lighter? Can we make it more breathable? Can we do and because we have these feedback so quick, we are iterating at speed of light, and every time we have a new product, it's better than the first one. We don't have the legacy mindset. It's all built from our own personal experience, and that's why we learn so quickly. I want to show you some of the pictures of the relationship that we have made with the kids that we see. Kaisa is from Norway, who's giving us the thumbs up, and when you start building these relationships, they become so comfortable and they talk to you. I mean, Kajsa, in Norway, all the kids learn English as a second language. And she completely threw us off because we were still waiting for her orthosis just to be finished, the few straps that needed to be done. And she started throwing out jokes at us. She kept asking me, what's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3? And I was like, Kajsa, I don't have enough fingers to count how many trees have you got. And she said, it's just lots of trees. I thought, oh, it's a joke, sorry. My bad. So just giving them that relaxing environment to just be themselves. We've got Basmala, she was 4 when we saw her, and she basically just covered everything in stickers, and then when she ran out of space, she started covering them on her face and then our faces. And every time she walks into the room, she just starts hugging everyone, calling me Ammo, which is auntie in Arabic. It was just kind of nice feeling to feel like now I am part of their lives. It's not just, here's something, I'll see you in 6 months' time, but no, I am part of what their daily lives as well, because I'm not just giving you something, we're going through this together. I hope this video works. I need you to see what happens when you provide, when these kids don't have the orthosis that they need, what their life looks like and what do they and their family life looks like, and then what happens and how it changes as soon as they get what they need.
Yeah.
Oh, So that's Mimi. She's one of the kids that we saw last year. And as you can see, she doesn't have cerebral palsy. She had a brain tumor that finally she's much better now, but it affected her mobility. And one of the things it did was affect the way she walks. And as you can see, she's dragging the leg down, and what she needed was a good orthosis that would just allow her to follow her peers. And as soon as we provided that for her...
Good girl, thank you. Fantastic, that was a very good move.
That's her just busting up a catwalk move. So we talk about packaging, and for us it means experience. Remembering that when you design for meaning, good things will happen. It doesn't go the other way around. And for us, you have to have fun. If you're not, then it's your own fault. Our services extend beyond us seeing people in clinics. It goes home with them. When mums call me up and say to me, my child refuses to take the orthosis off, it's because they can just run around with their friends and play. They're just, you know, instead of being a disabled family, they're just being a family. And I can boast about, you know, how great We Make Life is, but I think you're better off hearing it from Uma, who's one of Andiamo's stars, or pioneers, how we like to call him. Almost 11 years old, he's got cerebral palsy, and please bear with him. If you've not worked with Oma before, you won't understand what he's saying. You've got Debbie, who's doing the interview with him, and she's basically repeats his words for us to understand. Oma can be very particular. When we first met him, he was just in tears because he hates orthosis. He doesn't like them. He knows that they're going to hurt. And by the time we gave him something that he could take home, it completely transformed him, and we became best friends, even though he supports Chelsea. So I'll let Uma tell you what he thinks about the Andiamo experience.
I Uma, no, don't you dare. So Uma, how old are you? 11. Okay, and what, you just got your new splints. What do you think of your new ones? They're good. What do you, why are they good? They're light. Okay, so they're light. And Do they fit you better than the blue ones or worse?
Better.
Better. Okay. So, and they're comfortable? Yeah. And if you could give them a mark out of 10, what would you give them? 100. That's brilliant. Well done. Okay. And your old ones, how much out of 10 will you give your old ones? 0. Okay. Why don't you like the old ones? Say that again. They're ugly and they're hurting. Okay, that's good. So with these ones, you wouldn't even notice you've got them on under your trousers either, would you?
No.
So they're good for style as well, I suppose, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right then. Okay. Cheers.
100 out of 10 from Oma. What can I say? And Diane gives you the best. So thank you very much for listening.